Hi everyone, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Katrina.
And welcome back to our channel.
Does this song sound like anyone else's childhood to you? Because it's definitely ours.
Okay, well the storyline is cute and it's a really great movie for both kids and adults, right? Right?
What if we told you this movie is a little bit more horror than we initially expected?
So these are some of the urban legends and theories surrounding this Ghibli film.
Please note that these are all theories and none of them have been proven or backed up by any directors or anything. As with any urban legends, whether you believe it or not, that, my friends, is up to you.
So this one is one of my favorites because I love true crime documentaries. But there is an urban legend that Tonari no Totoro is actually based on the Sayama incident that happened in 1963 about a 16-year-old girl that went missing.
She was kidnapped, held for ransom, and then brutally murdered and found in a forest.
Now I know what you're thinking, like how would the two ever be related? Because Totoro's for kids, you know, it's a family film and it's nothing like murder. But bear with us while we unwrap some of these chilling commonalities.
Firstly, the date of the Sayama murders? May 1st. In Japanese, we call months by the names and May is the 5th month, so gogatsu, the 5th month.
So the traditional way to say the 5th month in Japanese is Satsuki.
And saying May in English is, wait a darn diddly moment.
Okay, so let's do some more math. Satsuki is said to be 12 years old. Mei is said to be 4 years old. If you add those numbers together, it equals to 16. And the girl that got kidnapped in the Sayama incident was 16 years old.
On top of that, the story is said to take place in a place called Tokorozawa. That's a city right beside Sayama. The movie's title is Tonari no Totoro. Tonari, as in beside. Neighboring.
Now do we see the connection here?
The hospital where their mother stayed in the movie was called Shichikokuyama and is said to represent an actual hospital that exists called Hachikokuyama, located in Kyuryu or Sayama Hills. If you notice, the two hospital names are eerily similar. They're literally just off by one number, Hachi or Shichi.
Okay, so in one scene we can see them unpacking and we'll show it on the screen. The box in the picture says Sayamacha, and we can only think that as a way of tying this movie to the case.
It is also said that when delivering the ransom money, it was actually the older sister who was sent to give ransom money, and people say that it's kind of similar in a way to how Satsuki was running around chasing, looking after Mei.
When the police later questioned the older sister, she said something along the lines of, I saw a big tanuki and I saw a cat ghost.
The older sister, apparently she committed suicide, and so she joined her sister in the afterlife. Does this kind of mirror the way Satsuki eventually gets reunited by Mei?
Now, upon further research, we couldn't find any more evidence on the older sister, so this part for me is a little bit dodgy, but there's also no evidence that she didn't exist, so...
I mean, you know... Okay, so this one actually relates to the previous point. There is this theory that Totoro is actually a Shinigami, as in a death god, and that by the end of the movie, Satsuki and Mei are both not actually alive. Now, there's quite a few theories related into this one theory, so stay with us to kind of just like unravel all through these theories.
So the first one is that people think that the entire movie is actually a figment of the father's imagination. If you remember, there is a scene where the father is writing while Mei plays.
In fact, there are multiple scenes throughout the movie where the father's kind of just writing. In fact, we see a lot of scenes actually where he's looking out the window as if thinking of something or remembering something and then writing it down. Almost as if he were remembering his own kids. You know, giving them an afterlife or a would-have-been life through story writing.
A major moment where we see this is when Satsuki and Mei are both up in the tree with Totoro. Their dad can be seen during this time looking out the window while he's smiling and writing. So isn't it kind of weird that he doesn't notice his missing children up in the tree? But it's not weird if we say that this is all his imagination and they didn't even exist in the first place at that moment.
Yeah. Halfway throughout the series, I don't know if anyone noticed, but Mei and Satsuki, they lose their shadows? Now, it's a well-known thing that ghosts don't have shadows. People that are not alive don't have shadows, so why don't they have shadows? This is especially weird for me because I don't think that Miyazaki, like, he's an amazing director. I don't think he would have just missed that point.
So this all ties in with the idea that Totoro is the death god. Mei sees Totoro shortly after she disappears. When Satsuki is looking for her sister Mei, she seeks out Totoro and rides the cat bus to join her sister. And it is said that if you see the death god, you're soon gonna perish or you're gonna die, and this would all make sense.
Yeah. Okay, what if the cat bus represented a one-way ticket to the afterlife? And see, that would explain why when they were flying over all those people, nobody else could see them. The argument that Totoro and his friends can only be seen by children is also invalid because if you remember Kanta, he couldn't see them either, and he's a kid.
Okay, and finally the scene that was kind of the cherry on top of it all. This is the scene at the end where Mei and Satsuki both leave the corn cob sitting at the window of the mom's hospital room. First of all, that itself is weird. Like, why couldn't they just go in and give her the corn cob by themselves?
Exactly. I mean, yes, it can be argued maybe they were trying to give their parents alone time, or they were trying not to scare their parents, but I don't know, if I were their age, I would definitely just rush in to see my sick mother at the hospital.
Yeah. And most importantly in this scene, their mother says something very strange.
She says, 今そこの松の木でサツキとメイが笑ったような気がしたの. And that means basically, I could swear I just saw Satsuki and Mei up in that tree.
Especially in Japanese, this feels like a very weird thing to say about your daughters if they were still alive.
It does make sense though if her daughters have already passed on and she's kind of looking out the window reminiscing about them and wondering where are they now? Maybe they're in that tree.
So that was the last one. These are the urban legends surrounding Totoro.
Yes. Tell us what you thought. Do you believe any of these?
Have these theories prompted you to rewatch these movies or?
Let us know in the comments below. Anyway guys, that's all for this video.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications. We'll see you next time. Bye!